Welcome to another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. I'm your host, Voice of Reason, and thanks for joining me once again. How's it going with everybody? How's everybody feeling? Happy Easter, first and foremost. Hold on, things is acting up for me. All right. I want to say rest in peace to the infant child who was murdered with a stray bullet, right? That happened locally, right? If you're in the New York area, especially Brooklyn, that was really sad. I don't really want to get into details. It's just my condolences. That is terrible. That's not something I should have to discuss. That shouldn't even be a story. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? In a stroller? Nowhere safe, right? But damn, not to be funny, you would think a stroller is the last place you have to worry. I'm just saying. Rest in peace, my condolences. UCLA. It's for the women's that won the championship Final Four. UCLA. We don't have the men's results yet. We'll see that one. By the time you're watching this, that game should be kicking off. That's it for current events, all right? So we're going to go right in. What for you makes a person a good candidate to pursue, fellas? This is individual. We can say that people be saying some of the same things, right? But is that what it really is? Everyone wants to sound polished. I'm sure if you go to a dating app, most guys and gals are going to have similar things in their bio as far as their interests, what they like and what they're looking for. But seriously, for you, what makes a person a good candidate? Let me give some of the common factors. Mental stability. Sure that mental is in the right place. No trauma or little to no trauma. Little to no drama. A career. Attractiveness. A sense of humor. Kind-hearted. AKA peaceful. Loyalty. Respect. Understanding. Open mind. Willing to compromise. Attractiveness. That's on there twice. Most can agree, right? This is too easy. Like, who's going to really disagree with some of the stuff I just said? But we all have little different things that may be added to that based on who you ask. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's just a good blueprint to start off with. And that's why that's that. If I want to just step outside what everybody would agree with and separate me and give an example of someone will have this on their list too, but maybe this is a little more internal. 3 kids max. 3 or less. Live close proximities. I want to say under an hour commute. the most. Willing to be flexible on that. Into my music, you don't have it doesn't have to go that way. This is stuff that just personalizes me. Podcast support would definitely be nice. A love for sports to an extent. Understanding of, how can I say it to not be a deficit? Understanding life's responsibilities financially and being able to work around that. It's not going to be always a turn up every time. I think I'm done there. So that's how I kind of separated myself, even though I'm sure there's some fellas that agree with, with what I said, and they may have that on their list as well. And I think we good there. All right. Chris Brown concert, husband and wife controversy. If you didn't know, and I rarely do this, but this one stuck out like a green thumb for me. Wife goes on stage. Chris Brown does a performance. Now, we can off the top know that this stuff happens. People go to concerts all the time. They have their celebrity crush or whatever. And if they get an opportunity to actually be a part of the stage, it's almost like a, hell yeah, that's like a lifetime opportunity. I'm different. So my example, let's say Keisha Cole told me I could come on stage. Just to, it's the first thing that comes to my mind. That's the last time I was like really into music where I had a celebrity crush like that I really did like the Keisha Cole era. But anyway, I ain't got to explain myself. That's my cup of tea at the time. You know what I mean? So yeah, just to relate to it a little bit. Anyway, this wife goes up on the stage. I don't know the pre-discussion or how that came to be. She's on stage. Chris Brown is performing. They get really close, little intimate spaces for me. And the wife kisses Chris Brown. I mean, it wasn't just a peck. The cameraman is awesome. I guess the cameraman knows like when to do the close-up. So it's not a peck. She sticks her tongue out. You see her tongue. That was a real risky decision right there. They show the husband after that. He just shakes his head. That is very triggering. I was upset like it was me, the husband, like the camera came on me. So anyway, I'm dragging it out a little, but I say that to say, ladies, this is not acceptable. I see later that she says she didn't cheat. She just got carried away. And I don't really mean to come at her, but it symbolizes a lot to say that we can act like whatever, women could say, well, if the man went up there, no, you don't get that heated. You don't get into the moment like that. This is public. I'm not saying it makes it right because, women could attack us. We cheat all the time, or we do shit on the side all the time, or mostly, or they have history of that. They have receipts of that. And that doesn't make that better because it's not publicly seen per se. But what the hell? I'm not going to sit here and drag it and really go to the extent of saying that marriage is over. If that was me, I won't drag my response, but I'm telling you, that definitely wouldn't sit right. Are there factors, how long they've been married, what they got on the table currently? You can be adults about it, right? So I don't really have it as that dramatical decision making, up and go, boom, not give a fuck, no discussion, nothing. But it's definitely a problem. and it could be the end. I'm going to just be calm with that. That could be the end. Where they're really at with it, again, that was just an example. We're not really singling them out. I just don't want women to think that something like that is okay. You should worry. If you going to jump off the deep end like that, you should be worried. It should be humbling too. If you're able to even talk that out and get an opportunity to recover from that, the whole humble pie, not a slice, the entire humble pie. Now, there's factors, again, that we don't know them personally. Suppose he cheated already before, whatever. I don't want to go in and try to make this justified or nah. I'm just saying that it stood out, and that shit is crazy to me. There is no way that would sit tight. You can't, I don't care, Chris Brown, I don't care who it was. Feel me? Fellas, you want to go to the concert with your wife? But how different is that? Is it worse? It's worse if the husband's not there mentally, because he, obviously he's not there. But if he hears about that or finds out about that, now you're creating other demons in your head, because what time did she get home? Now, on the flip side of this, you could say Chris Brown is probably not thinking about that girl. Right after that moment, he probably forgot. She probably is irrelevant. But you think that makes it better? No. So I didn't want to stay here this long, but that's crazy to me. I doubt there's recovery from that. I doubt. Again, based on what y'all got on the table, I don't see it just up and leave like that. But it's not looking good. That is a really hard pill to swallow. And I feel like that was inappropriate. Your close friends' peeps don't have to be your peeps. But do we still question the difference in vibe? So when you have friends, there's levels. I did this before. There's levels of friendship. There's people that's just really cool. And, you see them in passing. You keep it pushing. You got acquaintances. Maybe there's a similarity I have. Y'all could discuss that. Let's say y'all love basketball. That's the only real convo y'all have. Y'all could talk about last night's game. Then you got the friends that maybe the phone friends, again, that you just stay in contact with, text, whatever. Then you got the ones that if they ask you to do something, come somewhere, roll, you roll. But that circles, those are the levels. Anyway, so let's say the close friends, that's why I said that, the ones who, if you free right now, you're not doing anything, you don't work tomorrow. Maybe you do, but you work a little later. Maybe you got an easy gig. Maybe there's a narrative that you can say, all right, I got this little wiggle room right here. And they say, pull up, you'll pull up. Those friends, that must be close friends, correct? So the friends they have. In a perfect world, it would be nice if they all vibe the same way. The same energy. I'm not saying this is a big deal, make or break. And because this doesn't vibe like that's still not your close friend. But is that a factor? Because now, if you and your close friend is tight, they got your back, you got theirs. But now they have this other friend that they're also equally close to or cool with. What is that friend for you? Does it have to be something? No. I don't feel like there's an obligation that my close friend has to be my ace boom coon. Not saying that. But when we are out in the public, I'm not thinking negative that something's going to pop off. But if something should happen to go left, yeah, that would be a nice to know that my close friends have that same loyalty mentality like I do. So if I'm with my close friend and his close friend gets into something, I don't know them, right? I don't really know how that popped off per se in that moment. But if my close friend co-signs that person and he's getting into it because of that person, I feel slightly obligated to join that as well. We hope that doesn't happen. We're just saying hypothetically. So in that breath, I hope it's vice versa. It should be. If I get into something and my close friend co-signs me, so he jumps into it, that close friend of the close friend better fucking be on board. I'm just saying, that's just that aspect where that matters at all. Far as our likenesses, our comparisons, will we chop it the way me and my close friend does? Maybe not. Not as chatty. They don't have to be. I'm just saying, you vouch for certain people, and if they are who you vouch for them to be, who they choose as friends should mesh. It should. Will it? No, because now I purposely use close friend, not your close friend who picks just a random acquaintance. So you got to know the levels too. Now, if that's not somebody as tight, I feel like that energy should still be known. So this is a pressure that levels of friends get into. We don't got to be buddy all the way like you my number one go-to. But if we are cool and we are somewhere, I still expect that same energy if shit go left. Can I be mad if I don't receive that? It's disappointing, but everybody don't be on the level. But this is how I'm giving it. So hopefully watch your close friends. And just make sure that energy is present. You feel like if it go left, it's a team effort. Because you really don't want to be around that if not. You know what I'm saying? So read the room. Never stop reading. Okay. How you really feel. No, how you really view how you really view the few weird interactions, no matter how G you keep it. They say they even hated Jesus. If you don't have to be super religious. Once again, happy Easter. You see how the story of Jesus is and how they can still hate that. There's people like, I guess, like a Martin Luther King, whoever didn't like him. I don't know him personally. No one's perfect. But in any event, when you know you're pretty solid, your interactions are real consistent. Nothing's 100 again, but every time you interact, it's a similar reaction. People receive you, you receive them, especially when it's something direct and in the moment, right? So now, on your journey out here, when you come across those weird interactions that whatever percentage, throw a number, 80% of people receive you. And it's not about just being accepted because you need a friend. I'm just saying, when you know your energy is of a level, when you're him, wink on that one. When you're him, you should feel most interactions will go suave. So again, them few weird ones, that's just, I think, showing, sorry, I gotta call it how I see it, that's showing that they're the odd person or the oddball in the equation. Because I don't see how you could justify, and people create things in their own mind. So to them, they're justifying it. But if you mostly keep it G, I don't understand those weird interactions. But that's life because you're not perfect and it happens. I don't really want you to stress that. I'm not sitting here attacking it like that. Oh, well, those few weird ones is just what it is. But if we want to dive deep, we could say that something's probably off on that side. What is off? We don't know. We don't know what's off, but something's off. But that's it. You just analyze that, keep it pushing, and understand that's going to happen. There is nothing you can do. There is no 10 toes, stand on business, always up and up vibe that you give that you will be received by everyone, no matter what. Even as you get older and you limit the interactions you do have, you limit the places you're in, the rooms you're in, you can reduce this number, but you can never have that number at 0. There's nothing you could do. People are fucking weird. What do you want me to tell you? So I wouldn't dwell on it too much, but It was a cool, it was a cool thing to just say, damn, do I pay attention to that? How much energy do I give that? And does that bother me at all? Which it shouldn't. It is what it is. You just keep continuing what you do. You understand what I'm saying? So that shouldn't have too much energy. And we out of here. So till the next time, you know my 3 Ps. Stay progressive, stay positive, and stay pushing.
All I need is a big crib for my son and my man. Cause a wrong chick'll come through and fuck up the plans. Pussy chasing, never seen that result in no paper. In fact, pussy make your homies turn into your haters. We still need it though, abuse it means losing your mind. Ever since I was a toddler, I knew I could rhyme. Go search for how to rapper, well who did you find? Bet you that nigga tell you I'm one of a kind. So vibe with me, in your whip or you get in your cut.